Where is everybody? All right. I have no injuries to update you on. We came out pretty clean there. My hat goes off to our fans. What a great job they did. It's a tough place to play, and they truly are the 12th man in there. So we appreciate them a ton. Defensively and offensively, I thought the coordinators just had great game plans. And with the coaches, the assistant coach, I thought they did a nice job likewise. And then there were some good personal things that went on. Pat Mahomes, he had a great day. And then Kelce, it was great to see him rolling 6 catches for 78 yards. Hollywood getting him into the mix, and he did a nice job. Pacheco had a nice day, and all of that because the offensive line played well. Andy Heck does a heck of a job with that, no pun intended. And then 6.1 yards per play, which was great. It was a positive. And then special teams, I thought our return game was good. We didn't have but one punt, so. And then we got Bucker a field goal, which was great, man. He did a nice job with that. They drilled it. All in all, a good night. Now I could keep going here, but it was one of those good nights. So, time's yours. Yeah, Jalen, I thought did a nice job. He just had a baby, too, which was a great thing. So last night or early this morning, however you want to put it. But he stepped in. Josh was gone for personal reasons, so for him to step in was a nice thing, and I thought he did a nice job. And tribute to Andy for rolling those guys during the week and getting that part done. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. When he's back, he's got to take care of that, and we'll see where it goes from there. But we were aware of it. Yeah. Does it matter if I? Yeah. Yeah. So penalties are kind of a crazy thing. So it's sometimes they come in waves. So I thought the officials did a nice job, but I thought our guys did a nice job of correcting some of those. So, with a good conscious effort to put forward there. So, yeah. No, it was a positive, though, really. Yeah. I thought it was the right thing to do, especially when you're playing a team that scores a lot of points. But I just thought it was the right way to go. Those are all subjective decisions. And then I know if you talk to the stats guy, they're going to tell you to go for about every 4th down. And Frazier does a good job of keeping it within reason. So, but listen, it was the right time to do it. Yeah, sure. I mean, it helps when we're doing okay. Yeah, that sure does. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've said this, but getting one back was a big thing. Xavier brings a lot of energy, and he can do a lot of things for you. And then he has an attitude there that he brings, and getting Rasheed back in the building, I also think was a big part. I think they felt that they were whole again, at least by body there. So that was positive, having him back in the building. Yeah, that's what I was saying. He had a nice day, 4 for 45, a couple TDs. He's a good football player. He loves to play. Try to give him the ball in many ways. We had the jet sweep to him, which was good, and down in there in the red zone. So that was a helper. Yeah, actually, the official told me right away what went on. So yeah, but it was weird. So you don't see that very often. It was a different kind of play too. So they're very creative in what they do, and That one didn't get set. So no. Yeah, well, you guys. I mean, it was. The guy came up and hit Juju. For what looked like no reason. They were taking a knee. So, that's tough. I mean, put pretty good damage on Juju's nose. Yeah, well, they deferred, so they gave us an opportunity to get the ball in the second half. We were able to come out and score there, which I thought that was big. Anytime you come out in the second half and move the ball a little bit, I think it helps everybody. And then the first half, it was a good drive. I can't say enough about the Nagy's, the Blameyers, these guys that put that plan together. Man, Connor and the whole group just had some good stuff. Todd Pinkston, De Leon, we've added into the mix here, and he gives us a nice perspective from the defensive side. He's kind of gotten into the offensive part of it too, so that helps. Just with putting the game plan together. But I thought it was a thick game. I think he came back in great shape. I think he's been playing well all along. Particularly these last 3 weeks. So he came back in good shape, though. And at his age, that's important. That's a big thing. Yeah. You had asked me that before, and I agree with that. That they've gotten better as we've gone on. The young guys, or in this case, Dalen jumping in and doing his thing. So it's a good group, and they're physical. I think if you could take something away from this game, when they bear down, they can bear down. So that ends up being important. All right, good.
With his fiancée cheering from the stands and the Kansas City Chiefs desperate for a win to climb back to .500, Travis Kelce delivered another strong outing in Week 6. The veteran tight end, whose age has begun to show at times over the past 2 seasons, set a new season high in receiving yards during Sunday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. More importantly, Kelce made several key receptions that helped set up points against one of the NFC's toughest defenses. For a Kansas City squad entering the night at 2-3 and sitting third in the AFC West, a prime-time victory was exactly what they needed to boost their early playoff hopes. Kelce's chemistry with Patrick Mahomes was on full display, becoming a defining theme of Week 6. It was just the second time this season that Kelce led the Chiefs in receiving, something routine in years past but now notable given his recent statistical dip. With Rashee Rice expected to return next week, Kelce remained Mahomes' top option, pacing the team with 7 targets and 6 receptions. Xavier Worthy added 4 targets for 20 yards and a touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster posted 57 yards, and Hollywood Brown found the end zone twice. As an added milestone, Kelce surpassed Jason Witten on the NFL's all-time list for receiving yards in prime-time games. Meanwhile, in Kansas City, Missouri, the Detroit Lions entered the matchup with both of their starting safeties Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch active despite limited practice time due to injuries. Joseph, battling a knee issue lingering since Week 4's win over the Cleveland Browns, did not practice all week, while Branch was limited Wednesday and Thursday before missing Friday's session with a foot injury. Joseph played through his ailment last week, and Lions head coach Dan Campbell said he expected Branch to suit up after the third-year safety underwent an MRI on Thursday. However, the Lions secondary remained short-handed, with both starting cornerbacks DJ Reed and Terrion Arnold shoulder inactive unavailable. Backup safety and slot corner Avant Maddox was also ruled out after sustaining a hamstring injury midweek. Amik Robertson and Rock Ya-Sin are expected to start at cornerback for the Detroit Lions, who will also be without several key players heading into Sunday night's matchup. Left tackle Taylor Decker shoulder, linebacker Zach Cunningham hamstring, running back Zion Vaki groin, safety Lauren Strickland, and defensive lineman Maya Wingo are all inactive as Detroit looks to improve improve on its 4-1 record. Running back David Montgomery should have no trouble clearing his over 10.5 carries prop on Sunday night. The veteran back has surpassed that mark in 4 of 5 games this season and is coming off his heaviest workload of the year, tallying 18 carries in Week 5. He'll face a favorable matchup against a Kansas City Chiefs defense that ranks 12th in most rushing yards allowed per game in 2025, making him a strong bet to stay involved. For Kansas City, Xavier Worthy's receptions over also looks promising. Since returning to the lineup, quarterback Patrick Mahomes has made a clear effort to feed him the ball. Over his last 2 games, Worthy has drawn 17 targets, including 6 receptions in Week 5, easily clearing his prop total. With the Chiefs in need of explosive plays, Worthy's speed and versatility, whether on deep routes or short slants, make him one of their key offensive weapons. Despite facing a Lions defense that has allowed the 12th fewest passing yards per game, Mahomes is expected to target Worthy heavily to create big play opportunities. On the other side, tight end Sam Laporta's receiving prop may be inflated after his breakout performance in Week 5 against the Cincinnati Bengals, when he posted 92 yards on 5 catches, his best game of the season. While impressive, this week's matchup is far less favorable. The Bengals have allowed the most fantasy PPR points to tight ends in 2025, while the Chiefs have been one of the league's toughest defenses against the position, giving up the 3rd fewest. Over the past 4 weeks, Kansas City hasn't allowed a single opposing TE1 to surpass Laporta's 46.5-yard total, making the under a strong play. As for Travis Kelce, the Chiefs star is coming off a 61-yard performance in Week 5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but he'll face a tougher test against Detroit's defense. The Lions have been excellent at limiting tight ends this year, allowing just 1 TE1, Mark Andrews, with 91 yards to exceed 45.5 receiving yards all season. With that in mind, Kelce's under 45.5 yards prop looks like a solid value pick for Sunday night.